In terms of this race here, he's John Nouns. I'm James Westling. The nightcap, men's DMR. You had Oklahoma State posting the second fastest official time this year. Are the Cowboys the favorite when you look at who they'll have representing them in this one, or is it somebody else? Is there a dark horse you're looking at? This conference is so loaded. The men's DMR, it's underway.
Devin's still right there. He's coming around the outside. Response by Kipyego. Look at that.
Kipyego out in front. Handoff. Look at Smith. Lightning fast. Oklahoma State with a little bit of a gap. Iowa State making a bit of a push.
Colorado still hanging in there in third.
Moussaoui is pulling away. Watch him fly across the finish line for the men's DMR championship. It goes to Oklahoma State. But what a tremendous start by Alex Stitt for the Cowboys to get them off and rolling. And the women's DMR is underway. Sydney Smith. West Virginia, it's Carleen Temple. Arizona State, it's Taylor Brown. They make the turn. Brown giving chase for the Sundowns. West Virginia's out of gas. Clean exchange, and off they go. Judy Kepkoech for Arizona State. West Virginia, Kaylee McCabe.
So it's a two-team race now. Coming up with 400 to go.
Arizona State and West Virginia.
And there goes Kaylee McCabe.
McCabe has taken the lead. Turning on the burners. Headed towards the finish line in West Virginia. Back-to-back Big 12 indoor champions in the women's DMR. The women's pentathlon is complete, and it's a big reason why Cincinnati has 19 team points. Some tremendous athletes participating in this one. And for Cincinnati, Juliet Laraquente Hubner, 4,182 points. Macy Taylor had an impressive showing, the junior from BYU there. The shot put, it was Oklahoma State's Annie Mullenhouse with the heave. She finished in 5th place, representing the Cowgirls. In the 800, it was a runaway. And Cincinnati's Juliet Laraquente Hubner takes the crown. She finished 3rd in this event at last year's indoor track and field championships. Molly Haywood, the Baylor sophomore. This place erupted when she cleared 1.5, gets 10 points. This one appears to be wide open. Who are some names, who are some uniforms, who are some numbers we need to keep an eye out for?
Well, I think unlike the women's race, this men's race is wide open. There's any number of athletes who could win it.
In that aspect of it, so when Ernest Chariot came out of nowhere like you said, to win it. It was a stunner.
Absolutely. And, you know, back in the old days, his 13:28 would have been, you know, the big mark here in the Big 12. But, you know, this year it gets 8th in the Big 12 list this year.
Chariot, Klinger, Thompson, Kippen,
And there's Klinger making a big move right now, passing Chariot, and Thompson goes with him.
The BYU Cougars slingshot into the lead.
Comes down to who's got the most left.
Starting to kick it into a higher gear.
Swinging out wide down the backstretch.
Klinger pushing.
Klinger's opened up a gap on Thompson. Here comes Dennis.
Kippen, this is where he shines.
Dennis closing on Klinger.
Does he have enough? And Klinger able to fend him off. Casey Klinger, your Big 12 men's 5K champion. And we're now joined by BYU senior Casey Klinger, a new meet record. Casey, congratulations. How'd it feel?
Thanks, felt good. It was a great team effort today, working together, making it fast and competitive. And yeah, I'm just stoked to come away with my first Big 12 championship. And yeah, I'm proud of my team as well.
So as they get lined up for the women's 5K, well, there's a look at the star, Lexi Holiday-Lowry from BYU. She owns multiple BYU records. First team All-American. She is the headliner in this race. Off they go. 25 laps. It's a smaller track here at the Indoor Championships. She is just sweeping past the competition.
Yes, she just lapped a big group there, handled it easily, and she looks effortless in this race.
Incredible. Lexi Holiday-Lowry.
And a very nice close by Lexi. Looked like about 31, 32 seconds. We'll have to wait to get the official splits.
Lexi Holiday-Lowry, your Big 12 champion in the women's 5K. How does it feel to be crowned once again a Big 12 champion?
Oh, it's so fun. With this being our second year in the Big 12, we're just trying to approach these races just with a heart full of gratitude because we haven't had a conference, and so we're just very grateful to be here and to get championship style racing.
BYU right now, your leaders on the men's and the women's side. It is very early. This is Kansas's Sims' last chance, and he's got it. Clayton Sims clearing 5:61. And what a way to wrap up the night. Men's long jump. Oklahoma State's Blair Anderson. The 7.62. Ronaldo Rodriguez from Arizona. And Zaid Latif from Texas Tech. Here's a look at Anderson.
It was a great day for Anderson. He came in seated only third in the Big 12, but he had a great day, comes away with the Big 12 championship.
Earlier today, in the women's weight throw, Shelby Frank with the heave joined the Texas Tech track and field program in December. She transferred from Minnesota. owns number 1 through number 4 in the Texas Tech single-season record book.
And with that throw today, she broke the Big 12 meet record. Outstanding day for her.
And we get to do it again now.
Yeah.
Utah in 1, West Virginia 2, TCU 3, Arizona State in 4, Arizona 5, BYU 6, Cincinnati in 7. This is likely going to be a completely different story. 114-41 could be on its last minute here in Federal Way. They got a shot. Tommy Palmer's been sub-19 leading off. He's been 18-8. He's been 18-9. What'll he be today? I think he looks pretty good. He might be sub-19 again. An incredible field here at Federal Way. Tight exchange, 18-41 for Patrick Salmon. That 200 freestyle record, that Big 12 record, that meet record, everything is about to go. Johnny Kulo has a world behind him.
Oh my.
Will he be sub-18? 17-86. 2 splits under 18 for Arizona State as they go 1-13-18 and incinerate every record in Big 12 history.
Unbelievable. Wow. Total team effort from the Sun Devils to just put this one away.
I have no voice.
No.
We have a whole day tomorrow, and I think I just blew my taper, Natalie. It's done. 17-8. They talked about it earlier. It doesn't get any better than that story. They just kind of threw it out there. I was having a conversation. Hey, I think we might have 2 legs on this relay, sub-18. Lane 4 in that championship final. I was excited. Now we're a little confused. Arizona State DQ'd on that 4th leg. There's Ilya Karun and Tommy Palmer, Johnny Kulo as well. We're going to take a look at this last exchange. This is Johnny Kulo. We're saying it was close. I mean, I said it on air, but watched it in slow-mo during the break. I mean, if we can get that again at even slower, I'm a little confused. Visually, this looks, I mean, it looks clean. If we can go frame by frame into the wall, he's on the block. That's a clean exchange. I mean, I don't really know what to tell you there. And there's the podium. Arizona's in 1st, TCU 2nd, BYU in 3rd, and Herbie Boehm is going to hand out the awards. It's a bummer that that's not going to be in the record books. But
I know, but you know what? Arizona State still has a commanding lead even without that relay. But yes, very disappointing.
I'm glad that I have my sanity because looking at that Johnny Kulo exchange, I had my headset on so we couldn't really hear in venue. They said it really quickly which exchange it was.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it wasn't that split because I was like, that's a 0.15 reaction time. Ilya looked like minus 0.01, minus 0.02, but I mean, regardless, those guys just threw down a sick relay.
This just wrapped up, and Baylor's Alexis Brown, 671, your Big 12 champion in the women's long jump.
And it's the fast heat of the men's 4x4.
There's their seed time. BYU in lane 3, Baylor lane 4, Arizona State lane 5, Texas Tech lane 6.
Arizona State comes in with the fastest seed time, but it's anyone's race. Ezekiel's got work to do.
Here's the bell.
Ezekiel looks good, doesn't he?
The Olympian. Look at Ezekiel. Rounding the top. Ezekiel with the flyby. Oh! Wow!
And he quiets the crowd as he crosses the finish line. Just a dominant anchor leg by Ezekiel. Showing why he's one of the best quarter milers to ever come out of that storied Baylor program.
That was sensational. All right, fourth heat, Arizona, Baylor, UCF, TCU. Who's the standout in this one?
Well, I think it's got to be UCF. They come in with the #1 ranked time in the Big 12, 3:29.93 earlier this season.
There's the bell.
TCU looks like they're starting to close the gap just a little bit.
Shaw Huckabee, UCF, stretching her lead, trying to power through. Here comes Baylor. Baylor with the charge. UCF hangs on. $332.95 for the Knights. Your Big 12 4x400 winners.
So that's what's kind of cool about these Big 12 conference meets. A lot of times you see kind of the future stars in the Olympics today here at the meet. And of course, in some cases, like we've talked about, you've got the Olympic stars of today competing here today in the Big 12. I'm sure once you compete at the Olympic level, coming here at the Big 12 meet is like a walk in the park.
Here they come.
Much better start for Mayberry. Looks like he's already made up the stagger, and it's all Mayberry.
She is cooking. Mayberry. So fast. A 22:40. Just besting her previous mark of 22:41.
Another outstanding time by Mayberry, the freshman from TCU. Shows that she still has room to grow as she moves towards the national championship here. Well, I'm expecting a fight between lane 5, lane 6. That's DeMar Francis, the senior from Baylor, in lane 5, and in lane 6, Sean Brown, the senior from Texas Tech.
They fire off. Diggs, Joseph, and Francis.
You know, look even coming into the home stretch, but it's DeMar Francis pulling away.
Francis accelerated into that home stretch.
That was an outstanding close, last 50 meters or so by DeMar Francis. 2061 we see now, so Travion White-Austin's result from Heat 1 will hold. Travion White-Austin, the Big 12 champion in the men's 200 meters.
How about that? Arizona. They get a piece here at the Big 12 Indoor Track and Field Championships. Umakoro from Texas Tech, lane 7, Royalty Brown from Baylor, and lane 8, Alyssa Colbert from Texas Tech. This is a loaded field here in the women's 60-meter dash.
Yes, it is. And like you said, I'm looking at India Mayberry, lane 4. She's in the 60-200 double here today. Keep an eye right to her outside, Alexis Brown, the senior from Baylor, as well as the senior from Texas Tech, Success Umakoro, out in lane 6.
Alexis Brown is a tremendous long jumper. Holds the second best long jumping mark in the country and tops in the Big 12. There they go. Oh, wow.
I think that was Success Umakoro from Texas Tech. No, it was India.
A 7-18 from India Mayberry and Umakoro with a 7-19. That is as close as it gets.
And that was incredible. India Mayberry, hopefully we get a replay, had a really tough start there.
Yes.
And only a 60-meter distance. I can't believe that she made that up.
Let's see it one more time.
I mean, their success with such a big lead halfway through the race and that closing top-end speed of India. Incredible.
And India Mayberry, the freshman from TCU. A 7-18 in the women's 60-meter sprint. We set the table now for the men's 60-meter dash. Houston's Sean Maswanganyi is in lane 1, and this is his season debut. Take us through his journey. He was at the Olympics. Here he is at the Big 12 Championships. Here they come. Blazing speed. Snow or brown. And it is John Adesola from Houston. Running a 6:59 with Malachi Snow, a 6:60. Lane 1 is your Big 12 champ. Lane 2, beg your pardon, thank you. Texas Tech's Forbes in lane 1, Awusa from UCF in lane 2, Destiny Smith in lane 3, Krebs lane 4, Tabubo from UCF lane 5, McCoy in lane 6, Kiluvia lane 7, and Weiss in lane 8. Naomi Krebs, lane 4 from Texas Tech, also owns the second fastest time in Texas Tech school history. They're off. Krebs across the finish line. Oh, a stumble. Naomi Krebs runs a 7:96. So the Texas Tech women, there's a look at Krebs. Jump up to second place. 7 of the 19 events scored. There are the Red Raiders, their collective unit. Here's what these athletes ran in the prelims. Alec Carr, Eckstein, Prince, Marshall Jr., Snow, a 7:53. Andrews, Rhea, and Trucks, all really good. Men's 60-meter hurdles. Snow out in front. .752. Malachi Snow, a new meet record. His teammate Antoine Andrews, a 7:56. So Texas Tech takes the top 2 spots. Jamar Marshall Jr. from Houston rounds out the top 3. A 51-70 for Sammy Oblad from BYU. Here's the second heat. Sanchez Nunez, Monroy, Joseph Williams, How about Rachel Joseph from Iowa State? 50.99 in the prelims.
Yeah, that was a big race by her yesterday. The junior from Iowa State.
Women's 400. Williams with a blazing start. Williams, the UCF Knight, holding on to the lead as they make their second turn. Joseph out in front. Rachel Joseph. Williams and Joseph in front of the pack. Joseph stretching her lead. Joseph kicking it into a higher gear, and Rachel Joseph a 50.88.
Wow.
Kaya Williams a 51.62. So that slides Sammy Oblad down to third, a 51.70 from her. What a race. The big name in this second heat, Nathaniel Ezekiel from Baylor, a 45.29 during the prelims. Also DeMar Francis, his Baylor teammate, two sensational athletes here at the Indoor Track and Field Championships.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Ezekiel, lane 5. He ran that adjusted 45.03 earlier this year at the Jarvis Scott Invite. Number 1 in the Big 12, number 1 in the NCAA.
DeMar Francis in lane 4, BYU's Trey Jackson in lane 3, and Jaden Davis in lane 6 from Arizona State. Second heat of the men's 400. Ezekiel giving chase, gaining ground. The Baylor yellow out in front. Ezekiel claims the lead. Ran the first 200 in 21.09. Ezekiel thunders into the home stretch. .74.74. And that
.44.74. That's one of the fastest marks we've ever seen in collegiate history.
It's a new meet record. This is the men's 400 getting their hardware. There's Ezekiel. Today, on the women's side, Kiela Dove from Houston clears 18.29 meters, 60 1/4 inches, your Big 12 champion. Then the women's triple jump, Tamaya Washington representing Texas Tech, 44.3 inches with that leap. Shifting over to the high jump. Here's Temitope Adesina. 6 feet 2 3/4 inches. And then Emma Gates from Arizona. This place went crazy when she cleared that distance, cleared that height. And there's the celebration at the podium. All right, men's shot put. Zach Landa, Arizona senior. 19.49 meters. Your Big 12 champ. And then men's triple jump. This was Ashley Davis, the Cincinnati senior. 51 9 3/4 inches. That was his 5th leap. Men's high jump. Entry of Mita, the Houston sophomore, your Big 12 champ. All right, this second heat for the men's 3K. Man, this one's just loaded with big names.
Yeah, they're all watching that first heat to see Thompson run 7:56. They know that's the time to beat. That's not a slow time. You know, it's going to prevent these guys from being able to just sit and kick.
So Creed Thompson and Davin Thompson.
Casey
times from that first heat. Go ahead.
Casey Klinger, hip number 1, out strong for BYU. Seems like Oklahoma State saw what BYU did last night in the 5K, and they're employing a similar strategy right here, right now. You got to think, though, Brian Musau, he's fresh. He didn't run earlier this weekend like Fouad is. I don't know if Musau has quite the same closing speed.
Oklahoma State leading the pack, 1, 2, and 3.
Casey Klinger still holding on right behind Fariat. We see Fouad now moving up to the outside. Oh,
yep, he's dropping out.
Fouad was a pace setter. He's certainly not taking his foot off the gas. But Shoppy's closing the gap.
Shoppy making his push. 7:36, 7:37. Musau turns on the jets. Look at him push. What a finish.
Yeah, those Oklahoma State guys from the gun, you could tell they wanted to turn it into a bloodbath, and that's what we had. But they're off this time, and a clean start for the women's second heat of the 3K. BYU athletes immediately out in front. I see Jenna Hutchins, Carmen Alder, Taylor Lavelle. We see that pack is strung out really nicely. Everyone's single file, so the pace is honest.
West Virginia accelerates into the lead. Here come the Mountaineers, 1, 2, and 3. McCabe has stepped on it. McCabe is pulling away.
It's a fight for second. Kaylee looks great.
McCabe has it in the bag, and your runner-up. Her West Virginia teammate, Joy Naucott, the freshman.
We've come to expect it from her.
And Kaylee McCabe, the senior. What a run she's had the last 2 seasons here at the Indoor Track and Field Championships. Women's 1,000-meter race. 2 TCU Horned Frogs, a couple of Oklahoma State Cowgirls, and Iowa State, Kansas State, West Virginia represented in this one. It's the big name when you look at the field. The women's 1,000 is underway. Baylor's Nathaniel Ezekiel said, thinks he'll run a faster mark at Nationals. Just set a new Big 12 meet record, 44.74. Well, in the women's 1,000, TCU's Tamitha Nagayo, a 2:46.31. Blasting the competition. Riley Beach from Iowa State, your runner-up, in Kansas State's Stella Miner, the freshman, finishes third, 2:49.38.
And we're back in Lubbock. Men's 1,000 just got underway. Emmanuel Galdino out on the outside from Iowa State, the junior. Someone to watch. Stitt challenging for the lead, and he's got it. 400 meters to go. Stitt's moved up into the lead, cutting second, and that's Galdino from Iowa State on the outside in third. Coming down the backstretch. Final lap. Galdino swinging wide. And he blows by Stitt. Galdino down the home stretch. It's all Cyclones in the men's 1,000 meters. Perfect time kick. Perfect execution there from Emmanuel Galdino. Gets him his first ever Big 12 championship.
So that sets us up for the second heat, which features Hall from Arizona, Berdau from TCU, Mickens Malik from Oklahoma State, and Madison Campbell from Kansas.
He was third last year in the outdoor 400 hurdles as well.
The second heat, they are off and rolling.
Keeley's fighting hard to keep that inside position, not letting the TCU woman get past her.
TCU's climbed out to take the lead. TCU stretching their lead. Oklahoma State making a push, and it is Amelia Berdau from TCU. Runs a 1:19.02. The meet record is 1:06.68 from Jonathan Jones, former Texas Longhorn in 2022. Adam Mason from Houston, Ty Coke, Oklahoma State in lane 2. Henry from TCU in lane 3, and Dejon Blackman from Iowa State in lane 4.
From Oklahoma State, lane 2.
TCU's Henry trying to bridge the gap.
Here comes Iowa State, trying to move past TCU into second.
It is close. Blackman galloping around the corner. There's the kick. And Blackman stretching out in front. Dejon Blackman, a 1:07.79. Adam Mason runs a 1:08.05.
A fantastic poised race by the Cyclone.
As we get set for the men's 800, we look at this field. Who stands out among this group?
Dayton Carlson, the senior from Arizona State, broke 147 earlier this year, 146.98, adjusted 146.39 at New Mexico earlier this year, 6th in the country, number 1 in the Big 12. Should also point out the freshman from BYU, Tyler Matthews. Only a freshman, he's already gone under 147, and they're off.
This race is stacked. It is crowded.
And there's Dayton Carlson moving up.
Carlson surging into the lead. Look at the burst.
Big move by Carlson.
Carlson is stormed out in front, stretching his lead. Freeland.
And watch out for Matthews. He's coming up too.
Matthews. Freeland will take it. 147.52. What a race. Matthews not far behind. A lot of movement down the stretch. Carlson rounds out the top 3. Kent Diego from Iowa State finishes 4th. This 800-meter winner. in Lubbock, Texas, the site of the indoor track and field championships for the Big 12 Conference. Kylie Olson from BYU, Tessa Buswell, Becca Heitzig from Iowa State, a freshman, participating in this women's 800. But the headline might be who's not here when it comes to this race.
That's right. Megan Hunter from BYU ran a 2 flat in the 800 earlier this year at Boston University. As they're off, but Megan not running here today. She's not entered into the meet this weekend. Not exactly sure why. Certainly we hope she's back, ready to go for nationals here. And Kaylee Politza from Oklahoma State. They've completely gapped the rest of the field here.
Women's 800. Texas Tech's Fanny Arndt making a move.
And you can hear that crowd go crazy for the hometown athlete.
Does Clark have a push left in her? A huge win for Texas Tech. Fanny Arndt from Texas Tech, a 2:02.34. Your women's 800-meter winner. Get ready for the men. They are getting lined up for the women's mile. And the headliner in this one has to be Riley Chamberlain from BYU, a staple athlete here in the Big 12.
Riley Chamberlain and the rest of the BYU women showing incredible fitness this season.
We are underway. The women's mile. Well, Chamberlain has continued to create more and more separation. Blazing speed from Chamberlain.
Bella Heikes, the junior from Iowa State, in second.
And BYU continues their distance dominance here at the Big 12 Indoor Track and Field Championships for the second day in a row. Just completed the women's mile. There's a look at Riley Chamberlain getting her gold medal. The men's mile is coming up next. Here at the Big 12 Indoor Track and Field Championships, getting ready for the men's mile. Some big names in this one as well. There's the lane assignments.
And there's Fouad, lane 7 out on the outside alley. Not quite expecting it to be a runaway like we saw in the women's race with Riley. Still holding on to the lead, controlling the pace, dictating that it be a nice, slow race. But there goes Fouad.
Masaoudi out in front.
Fouad decided enough is enough. About 2:16 through the 800.
His teammate Kip Kimboys surged out in front. Kip Kimboys surging ahead.
Iowa State guys trying to chase him. There's Fouad in fourth.
Kip Kimboy into his turn. Look at him go.
Iowa State still right behind Fouad. It's a battle for second place.
Kip Kimboy glancing over his shoulder. Masaoudi will be a runner-up. And Galdino, I should say, beg your pardon, rounds out the top three.
And the women's team champion with a team total of 113.5 points. The team from Texas Tech. Congratulations to Coach Wes Kittley and Texas Tech your 2025 Big 12 Women's Indoor Track and Field champions.
In 12th place, Colorado with 16. In 11th place, Arizona State with 18. In 10th place, Cincinnati with 27. And your men's champion with a total of 124 points, Texas Tech. Let's hear it for Coach Wes Kitley and Texas Tech Red Raiders, your 2025 Big 12 Men's Indoor Track and Field champions. Fans, we appreciate your support of these Big 12 2025 Indoor Track and Field Championships. We appreciate you being with us both day. Congratulations to all of our competitors on all 16 teams. We hope you had a great meet. Have a great evening and travel home safely.